Hello everyone. Against popular opinion, I decided to buy an Arcade1Up Deluxe 12-in-1 to liven up my bonus room a bit. These relatively inexpensive machines have gotten a fair amount of negative press during the holiday season, but I've always wanted an arcade cabinet, and I saved $100 off this model, which includes the most games as well as the riser, which usually costs an extra $50. We'll look at it in depth after the break. Oh, the Arcade1Up. It's the latest scheme in the popular trend of bringing the 80s and 90s back in a smaller form factor. As the result of a successful Kickstarter, who wouldn't want a 60-pound arcade machine that's easy to make room for? I'm probably their target demographic, as I'm 30 and have some truly fond memories of hitting the arcade after school and on the weekends. I ordered this machine from Best Buy as they offered free shipping and were kind enough to honor Walmart's lower price. It arrived via FedEx on December 24th, and I honestly felt a little like a kid on Christmas morning. I can't afford one of those $4,000 custom arcade machines that play thousands of games, so the $300 price seemed like an attractive alternative. Assembling the Arcade1Up is very similar to how IKEA furniture is put together. The average person will probably finish up within an hour. To the company's credit, the instructions were very easy to follow, and I never felt lost or confused about what I was doing. My son decided to offer emotional support and was totally thrilled to see what kind of games came with it. I think the truth has been stretched a little how they advertise that these machines are 3/4 the scale of an actual arcade cabinet. I'm about 5 feet 10 inches tall, and without the riser I would have to get on my knees in order to use the Arcade1Up without hurting my back. With the flick of a switch, the Arcade1Up logo lights up the screen. The Deluxe effectively combines the Asteroids and Centipede machines into one, offering a trackball as well as a spinner to play 12 games instead of 4. The flaws in regards to the quality of these machines start to become apparent once you jump into a game, especially ones that rely on the spinner such as Tempest. I never played the arcade original growing up, so I tried to keep an open mind that the spinner is stiff and more like a radio dial that clicks as it's rotated. It's not very precise, and the fact that it's hollow plastic gives it a cheap feel, but I suppose it could be worse. The platforming sections of Major Havoc make the issue much more obvious than any other game, as your character stops moving the second you aren't moving the spinner. I've seen mods online that improve the way the spinner operates, but this kind of problem shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. I will say the trackball fares much better. When you give it a quick flick, it continues to spin for a moment before stopping. This allows for reasonable precision when playing games like Centipede and Missile Command. However, on a software level, the sensitivity is a tad lower than I would prefer. It's too bad there are no options available to customize the experience without modifying the main board. On a positive note, Crystal Castles has gotta be one of the most satisfying games I've ever played with a trackball, and is a total joy to play without any issues that I can think of. I would say the same thing about all the button-based games like Asteroids, but unfortunately the A button on my unit is extra squishy and not nearly as responsive as the others. I contacted Arcade1Up's customer service, and they were kind enough to send me a replacement button, but the 3 emails I sent them as well as 2 phone calls, each with a wait time exceeding an hour, was not acceptable. The representative I spoke with even admitted that their call center is currently staffed with less than 10 people. Good luck getting someone on the line if you have an issue. Unlike other YouTubers, I totally get who these machines are for. They're for people like myself. I'm overall quite happy with my purchase, despite a few glaring issues. I just hope that newer units have better buttons and more thorough quality control. I plan on buying the Street Fighter cabinet and following ETA Prime's guide to install a Raspberry Pi and put all my favorite games on it. But what do you think of the Arcade1Up machines? I'd love to hear your thoughts and more. Consider liking or subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.